Fire, MP on the classification of Igembe Ngombe sub-county in Tharaka Nithi County as arid and semi-arid areas, ASAL region. B, statement sought by Senator Jackson Mandago, EGH, MP, on reservation of 5% of employment position for persons with disability in the public sector. In considering the said statement, the committee considered the statement through physical sitting with the stakeholders and respective senators who made the request, while in other instances admitted written submissions and shared the responses with the respective senators. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee held a joint meeting with the National Assembly Department Committee on Regional Integration to consider a joint memorandum on the East African Community Political Confederation Constitution proposals. The committee adopted the proposal on 6 June 2023 and forwarded them to the Ministry of East Africa Community, ASAL and Regional Development for forwarding to the East African Community Committee team of constitutional experts drafting the East African Community Political Confederation. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee also conducted a county visit to Tharaka Nithi and Marsabit counties for community peace dialogue aimed at restoration of peace and cohesion. The committee wrote to the Ministry of Land and Planning, Ministry of Education, and Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Government to address the issue raised by the residents. The Principal Secretary, Ministry of Lands Planning, briefed the committee that the land adjudication was ongoing and there is need for consensus between the committees having land issues. Mr. Speaker, way forward, the committee intends to carry out the following activities during the next quarter. A, consideration of legislative proposal for the County Youth Council Bill with a view of enacting it into law. B, consideration of proposed amendments by the National Cohesion and Integration Commission, NCIC, on the NCIC Act. C, a meeting with the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Education, on the status of the following 9 primary schools: Karimba, Kibangua, Mpunguru, Machabini, Kanjoro, Riamwaniki, Kioru, Riamaniku, and Kiombe, that they were raised down in Tharaka Nithi County after the 1995-97 clashes. D, a meeting with the Ministry of Interior and Coordination for National Government to consider their responses on a statement sought on the steps taken to restore peace in the following locations: Ntoroni, Torima, Murinda, Kakurungu, and Kondi. E, consideration of proposed inquiry on the state of access to public facilities by persons with disabilities, PWDs, in Kenya. F, regular engagement with the key stakeholders and state agencies which fall under the mandate of the committee. Mr. Speaker, sir, going forward, the committee intends to conclude pending legislative business that is before it within quarter, particularly such business as may be subjected to timelines provided under the standing orders of any other law. Finally, Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, I wish to thank your office and that of the clerk of the Senate for the continuous support accorded to the committee in undertaking its work. Lastly, I also wish to thank the members of the committee for their commitment and diligence in contributions during the committee activities. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Before I allow the next chairperson to make his statement, I have the following communication to make. I would like to acknowledge in the presence in this public gallery this afternoon, visiting teachers and pupils from Mudiawari Primary School. The group comprises 10 teachers and 108 students who are in the Senate for a one-day academic exposition. Now, honorable senators, in our usual tradition of receiving and welcoming visitors to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to them, and on behalf of the Senate and on behalf wish them a fruitful visit. In the absence of the Senator for Busia, I will allow the immediate neighbor, and I believe it's Senator Wafula, under 1 minute to welcome the students and teachers from Moody Awori Primary School.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for this opportunity to welcome our good friends, neighbors, brothers and sisters, and my colleague teachers from our good, blessed people of Busia, who have made it a priority to visit the upper house, which is the Senate, where our good friend Okiya Mtata, self-proclaimed the defender of the poor, to see by themselves and listen by themselves on what happens in the house. What I want to assure you, our good people, is that in the Senate, you are in safe hands. Your issues and our issues of the Republic of Kenya are always addressed in decorum with clarity of mind and fairness of the cross to ensure that all of us benefit from the resources of the Republic of Kenya. And we also want to assure you, as people of Busia, that every rule, regulations, and opportunities that are availed in this country, Busia is given an opportunity and its fair share to ensure that all of us are proud to be Kenyans. On matters of education, ECD and vocational training are devolved, which we will ensure that we do the best we can. And generally, we will support every initiative to empower the girl child and the boy child, because the future is for both children. There is no favorism between a boy and a child, but give an equal opportunity for all. For my colleague teachers, I know we are suffering servants in this country, but let us not give up. There is always a window of hope, and we will strive to ensure that the rules of the game in TSC and the government are favorable for teachers to be promoted and equally to enjoy terms of service like any other civil servant in this country. For those few remarks, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Person, National Security, Defense, and Foreign Relations.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to make a statement relating to the activities of the Standing Committee of National Security, Defense, and Foreign Relations for the period between 1st of April and 30th June 2023. That is pursuant to Standing Order 56, 1B of the Senate Standing Orders. Mr. Speaker, during the period under review, the Standing Committee on National Security held a total of 18 sittings, considering 3 legislative proposals, 13 statements, 2 petitions, and 1 resolution from the county of Elgeyo Marakwet. The committee also held 1 retreat and hosted 2 visiting delegations from other parliaments. Mr. Speaker, sir, in respect of legislative proposals, the committee considered the following. 1, Public Holidays Amendment Bill of 2023, the draft Disaster Management Bill, and Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill. Mr. Speaker, sir, pursuant to Order 131-1 of the Senate Standing Orders, the committee conducted pre-publication scrutiny of Public Holidays Amendment Bill 2023, sponsored by Kirango Thangwa, MP. The bill seeks to introduce a new Section 3A to the Public Holidays Act to provide for the extension of public holidays falling on Tuesdays and Thursdays. The committee, Mr. Speaker, recommended that the bill should not proceed for publication for the following reasons. Some businesses have specific output targets, therefore reducing the business working days as a result of the extension of public holidays may mean that employers would be compelled to meet the cost of salary payments for days not worked for or incur hefty overtime compensation as a result of employees working on a public holiday. The second reason, Mr. Speaker, is that the majority of employees in Kenya are casual laborers who rely on a daily wage to meet their daily needs. A reduction in their business working days as a result of the extension of public holidays on weekdays may therefore hinder their ability to meet their basic needs for themselves and their families. And thirdly, Mr. Speaker, public holidays also disrupt business by reducing working days and consequently reducing business outputs. For example, public transport, manufacturing, industrial sector may register low proceeds during holidays. Mr. Speaker, the committee also in proposing that the committee is also sponsoring the disaster management bill, whose key object is to provide a framework for effective and coordinated disaster management at the national and the county level, and the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2023, which seeks to remedy the misinterpretation of functions between National Police Commission and the Inspector General of the National Police Service. Mr. Speaker, the committee is in the process of engaging various stakeholders prior to publication of the two bills. Mr. Speaker, sir, with respect to statements before the committee, a total of 19 statements were sought from the committee during the period under review as annexed to the statement. The committee has received a total of 7 responses to the statements sought, which are shared with the respective senators, and awaits responses to 12 statements from the relevant ministries. The committee also held a retreat with the Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Defense, on 5th of May 2023 in Nairobi County. Following deliberations, Mr. Speaker, the committee planned to visit military installations in the country from August 2023, that is from this month. Mr. Speaker, with respect to petitions, the committee is currently considering following petitions. 1, petition concerning the recognition and remuneration of village elders under the Nyumba Kumi initiative.
Senator Chirange, can the Senate be heard inside?
Petition concerning the rampant theft of livestock in Kajiado East and Kajiado West, sub-counties, and Kajiado County at large. The committee has met with the petitioners and various stakeholders, including the Council of Governors, Mr. Joseph Kwaku, the former chairperson of Nyumba Kumi initiative, and is scheduled to meet the Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Interior, and National Administration next week. Mr. Speaker, the committee is considering a resolution from the County Assembly of Elgeyo Marakwet and on measures to curb cat rustling in Kerio Valley. The committee is scheduled to visit the county to meet the governor and the county assembly to deliberate on the matter of resolution of security in Kerio Valley. Mr. Speaker, the committee hosted visiting delegations from other parliaments, including the Parliament of Colombia, the Mati Committee on Peace and Security of the Parliament of Zimbabwe. From the engagement, the committee explored areas of mutual cooperation and sought to strengthen relations between the two countries, a working engagement to foster and strengthen bilateral relations and to develop areas of public cooperation between the two countries and Kenya is underway. Mr. Speaker, going forward, the committee intends to, 1, fast-track consideration of legislative business pending before it, 2, meet with various stakeholders to deliberate on bills sponsored by the committee prior to their publication. 3, visit Elgeyo Marakwet County to engage with the governor and county assembly on the resolution on measures to curb banditry in Kerio Valley. And 3, Mr. Speaker, finally, visit various counties to receive submissions on petitions before the committee and visit military installations in the country. Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to take this opportunity to thank your office,
Joyce Korir.
your office and that of the clerk
Senator Joyce Korir
for
and
the
your team. Majority
support
Leader,
accorded to the committee.
Senator Cheptumo, the chair is speaking to protect you. Senator Joyce Korir, Majority Leader and the Minority Whip. Please consult in Lawton. Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for protecting me. It is important for them to hear what we are responsible to the House. So, Mr. Speaker, I wish to thank your office and that of the clerk for the support accorded to the committee in discharging its mandate, and I also wish to thank members of the committee and acknowledge them for their commitment in the discharge of our committee's mandate. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I will allow 15 minutes for honorable senators to make comments on the 4 statements that have been given by the chairman of those committees. And I'll start with Senator Chiranke. And please don't take the entire 15 minutes. Okay. You have your colleagues who wish to speak to this.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, I'm well guided. One, I want to start with a statement by the chairperson of Lands. Mr. Speaker, I think as a House, and the Majority Leader indicated last time, that the standing order number 56 is not like a report card, Mr. Speaker. It must give a pragmatic solutions. Mr. Speaker, I wish the chairperson of Lands was listening, or maybe we'll consult the Hansard later.
The chairperson lands. That is being addressed to the House, but particularly to you. Proceed, Senator Chirange.
I wish the chairpersons of Lands was listening to this, Mr. Speaker, sir, unless he will consult the answer later. But I highly doubt. Mr. Speaker, on the state, I look at, and the Majority Leader put these things in perspective. The 3 chairs seems to have missed the wisdom and advice of the Majority Leader. Because we said you must give pragmatic solutions, Mr. Speaker. For example, my statement on the state of land leases has been lying for the longest time possible, Mr. Speaker. And you know the second coming of Jesus Christ is around the corner. So I'm worried, Mr. Speaker, the state of land leases in Nandi County might not be addressed fully. Because this is an open and shut case, Mr. Speaker, unless the committee and the chair is telling us they are powerless, that they cannot summon some of this documentation. Because it is well documented, what we want to know is, when are the leases expiring? Who has that leases been renewed, both multinational companies? And I don't think, Mr. Speaker, it is only affecting Nandi County. It's affecting Kericho County, where Majority Leader comes from. It's affecting Bomet. It's affecting even Kiambu, among other areas, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I need your ruling and guidance that we need to agree on the timeline of statements, Mr. Speaker, because there is nothing done in vain, Mr. Speaker, when it comes to anything that comes to the floor of the House. Mr. Speaker, I expect that on that note, that in the next, in the next few days, even the committee, Mr. Speaker, can give even a preliminary report. I know they are not mandated to table on the House, Mr. Speaker, but they can give a preliminary report on the progress of what they have done, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, so I hope the Committee of Lands, led by Senator Medhu, and the committee members will be very keen. And I'm happy he's seated to the Majority Leader. I think the Majority Leader should properly guide him. Mr. Speaker, finally, on the committee on just in 2 minutes, on national security. Mr. Speaker, I don't know why the chair and the committee decided to be morticians. I would have expected in their reports, Mr. Speaker, to give us the pragmatic solutions. Mr. Speaker, as we talk now, everybody is shouting on the top of their voices and saying there is police brutality in this country. I wish the Committee of National Security should have even given an update to the country and this House on the allegations, Mr. Speaker, because we are hearing only one side of the story, where our colleagues in the minority side are saying there is police brutality. But for us, we know the police are being brutalized, Mr. Speaker, because we have lost one police officer, 370 are injured and recapitulating, more than 60 vehicles from the police have been banned, and ACC and even Amari, Mr. Speaker, and many other national government critical infrastructure has been attacked by the demonstrators, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is important that the National Security Committee should update the House, Mr. Speaker, because when the chair was speaking, Kenyans are watching, so that we don't allow people, Mr. Speaker, to
What
go.
is your point of order, Senator Eddy? And after you've stated your point of order, we'll have like 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, sure. I'll be brief, Mr. Speaker. These emotive issues, we don't want to discuss them so much because sometimes also there is possibility for talks that are going on. But, Mr. Speaker, I stand under Standing Order 105, where we are talking about statement of fact, Mr. Speaker. Senator Cherargei has said some dazzling numbers here that I can't substantiate unless there is a document that is tabled in this House that indicates how many vehicles have been torched, how many policemen have died. Where does he get this fact, Mr. Speaker? Because I didn't get that even in the statement that the chair of the Security Committee presented. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Cherargei, please stick to the subject matter before us and avoid throwing figures that you cannot be able to put into context. If you still stand by that statement,
Yes.
then I will ask you to proceed to substantiate. If not,
Mr. Speaker,
you withdraw and proceed.
Mr. Speaker, this state, I don't know whether I will table my phone because it is in my phone, Mr. Speaker. 305 police officers seriously injured, 1 police officer killed, 158 police vehicles destroyed, 9 police stations destroyed, 850 shops and business broken into,
Whose
199
report is this,
buildings destroyed,
Senator Cherargei,
156.
that is the report of the Standing Committee.
I'm
Where
indicating,
what
Mr.
is the
Speaker,
source of that information?
that this is PS Permanent Secretary in charge of Interior, Mr. Speaker, Bwana Raymond Omolo. So I don't know if anybody else has much more better information than the PS of Interior. Finally, Mr. Speaker, 198 buildings
Senator
destroyed.
Cherargei,
Yes,
that is the report by the PS Interior.
yes. And it is in my phone. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I can be guided.
From this, I'll give you 5 minutes to proceed to your office,
Yes.
print it out and table it.
Okay, that would be in order.
All right.
So can I conclude by saying the National Security Committee, Mr. Speaker, I think in future we need to agree our committees also to be alive to the issues that are there. Mr. Speaker, with those very many remarks, I beg to support both reports and wish the committee well as they proceed.
I think the matter raised by Senator Cherargei is a matter that we engaged on last week. And an observation, of course, was made by the senator, and the majority leader rose to give sort of an advisory on how we can give more life to the reports by the chairperson of these standing committees. Maybe the chairpersons making the reports today have not had the advantage or the benefit of going through the Hansard so that they can be able to pick what was given as an advice. So the chairperson of standing committees, do not be so rigid in terms of making your reports pursuant to Standing Order 56-2. We know that Standing Order 56-2 gives you the areas that you should report on. However, you should proceed beyond that and give us a more live and recommendations that align themselves to the to what is going on currently, because then that will help us understand better how the committee is working. And secondly, an advice was given here by the chair that there are some issues that are so current that you don't need the chamber or the house to move you. You can move on your own motion to address those matters and report to the house. So those chairpersons who were not present last week, kindly look at the Hansard and pick what was observed and given in form of advice. Now, honorable senators, we only have 7 minutes to go. I will allow Senator Christo Sige to make her comments.
Thank you, Chair, Speaker, sorry, and thank you to the chairs of the committees that are presented. I just have 3 brief points, Speaker. First, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I heard the Chair for National Cohesion say that my statement was dealt with or has been concluded. Unfortunately, Speaker, I haven't received that response from the committee on my query, my statement regarding several counties that have 0 PWD representation in the county assemblies. In that statement, Speaker, I named 21 counties that have allegedly no PWD representation in the assemblies, and I've been waiting for the response from the committee, but I haven't received anything, so I'm not too sure where the Chair for National Cohesion might have maybe gotten that information that my response has been received by myself and has been concluded, because it has not been concluded. In fact, I would challenge or push or seek for the National Cohesion Committee to bring this issue up at the devolution conference in 2 weeks' time, because it's very pertinent, Speaker. It's something that has been ignored for term after term after term regarding PWD representation in our counties. And this is the reason why we then have legislation, we then have budgets that are not equitable in any shape or form, because our voices are not being heard on the ground in counties. And I really do pray that the committee, National Cohesion, through its chair, through its able chair, can bring this up during the devolution conference very strongly on our behalf, because there is approximately 1 million PWDs who need the National Cohesion Committee to stand up for us and to speak for us on our behalf when a statement like that is presented to them. My second point is I heard from the senator for the chair for the Lands Committee at the beginning say that they have had 12 committee meetings since February. And I got a little bit worried, Speaker, because it's been 6 months since then. That is an average of only 2 meetings per month. And then I heard him say later that there are several pending statements at the committee. And so I wonder why maybe, or rather, I would have hoped to have heard from the chair of Lands to hear some sort of a challenges section to his report. Why is it that they have had so many statements that are still pending, even though they've been meeting approximately twice a month in their committee, and what they're planning to do about all of these pending statements, just as a way forward, so that those senators who have waited for a few months now can be, their concerns can at least be settled. And then my third comment is to the ICT chair who went first. Speaker, I also had a bit of a concern in terms of, I didn't hear from the report emerging issues being spoken about, because there are many issues that touch on data protection that sits squarely within the mandate of the ICT committee that haven't been actually mentioned at all. For example, there was a recent breach of e-citizen platform. I would have hoped, even though they have not had a statement sent to them, that the committee can be a bit proactive in its approach and go after its own investigations in matters that are that concern that committee. So the e-citizen breach, that was huge. It was in the news just a couple of weeks back. Not even 2 weeks have gone by, but we've not heard anything from any of the committee report that has been mentioned here. As well, right now, as we speak, Speaker, there are thousands of young people who are lining up across Nairobi. KICC just here. You, I'm sure, have seen the queues from this morning of young people lining up to give away their eye scans, their biodata, for you know how much, Speaker? $57. They've been promised $57 in exchange for their biodata. But this is something that ICT committee, I hope, will take on as its own, as a self-generated issue, rather than waiting for a statement to come to them. Because it's the nature of data and tech that it's extremely progressive and it's fast moving, and this committee has to also catch up and keep at that pace rather than waiting for business to be brought to them. Speaker, this issue about the world coin, that young people are going to give away their biodata, their biometric through eye scans, not just in Nairobi, across the different counties, across even the world right now, today, moving forward. And we have no idea about consent. We have no idea what the data protection provisions that have been laid to these young people. They are freely giving away their data. And we need ICT committee to please, Speaker, kindly, Chair, to take this up as a self-generated business for that committee. I thank you.
Thank you. Chairperson of Standing Committees, kindly take note of the concerns as given by Senator Crystal Asige. Now, I'm afraid we've expended the time given, and therefore, because of the business before us, we have 5 divisions to undertake. And I'm informed by both whips that we are ready to undertake division on the 5 bills. And therefore, I will move to rearrange the sequence of the order paper pursuant to Standing Order 45-2, and immediately move to prosecute order number 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Thereafter, we will resume order number 8 and proceed as given in today's order paper. So, clerk, kindly proceed to call.
Order number 10, the Konza Technopolis Bill, Senate Bills number 2 of 2023, second reading, division. Order number 11, the Persons with Disabilities Bill, Senate Bills number 7 of 2023, second reading, division. Order number 12, the County Licensing Uniform Procedure Bill, Senate Bills number 9 of 2022, second reading, division.
Sergeant at Arms, kindly proceed to ring the division bell for 5 minutes.
The division bell is currently on at the Senate, as the Senate has sort of prepared to consider various bills under this category. The Senate is set to have division on the Konza Technopolis Bill, Senate Bills number 2 of the year 2023, as well as the Persons with Disability Bill. This is Senate Bills number 7 of the year 2023. The debate on these particular bills have been concluded, and what remains is for the senators to sort of vote on the proposals in the bill, either to vote in favor as well as against the bills, as well as sort of vote for various amendments. And the bill with amendments is the Employment Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 11 of the year 2022, by the Senator for Nandi County, Samson Cherargei. Those are just some of the bills that the Senate is going into the division. And under this category, we have senators voting for the bills to either endorse or reject the proposals in the bills. There appears to be some sort of development in the chamber. Allow me to hand over so you can follow up on the live proceedings.
No. We'll vote for the three of them, then announce. Let us take our seats, honorable senators, kindly. Can the door be locked, Sergeant at Arms? I can see a lot of activities on that door. Now, honorable senators, I'll proceed to put the question. That the Konza Technopolis Bill, Senate Bills number 2 of 2003, be read a second time. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to vote electronically. And we're going to vote one bill after the other, and then I will read the results after we have voted on the three bills. So round one will be on the Konza bill. Then from there, we'll proceed to vote electronically for, I'll call the question, I'll put the question for the bill on the persons with disabilities. And then later on, I'll proceed to call for the division on the county licensing uniform. So, honorable senators, voting is going to be electronically, and the first voting is actually on the Konza Technopolis bill. So kindly proceed to remove your cards from the delegate unit. And Sergeant at Arms, kindly go around and pick whatever is left in the delegates unit. Senator Mazayo, you may proceed to have your seat. Once, Sergeant at Arms, you are done removing the uncollected card from the delegate units, kindly let me know. Honorable senators, you may now log back. Log in and proceed to vote, either voting yes, no, or you may abstain. Kindly proceed to vote. Clerk, are there any assisted voters? Senator Wakoli, kindly proceed to the dispatch so that you may be assisted to vote. Senator that I called to approach the table is Senator Wakoli. I only called Senator Wafula to be assisted. So allow the clerks to do the work. The next order.
Next one is Persons with Disabilities Bill, Senate Bills number 7 of 2023.
Honorable Senators, I do put the question that the Persons with Disabilities Bill, Senate Bill number 7 of 2023 be now read a second time. Again, voting is electronically. You may proceed to vote by voting yes, no, or abstain. Voting starts now. Clerk, proceed to call the next order, please.
So order number 12, the County Licensing Uniform Procedure Bill, Senate Bills number 9 of 2022.
Honorable Senators, I proceed to put the question that the County Licensing Uniform Procedure Bill, Senate Bills number 9 of 2022, be now read a second time. Again, voting will be electronically. You may proceed to vote yes, no, or abstain. Honorable Senators, the results for the division on the three bills have now been received. On the first division on the Konza Technopolis Bill, Senate Bills number 2 of 2023, these are the results. Nays 6, ayes 22, abstention 0. So the nays have it because the bill has not managed to marshal the requisite 24 delegates. On the second bill, that is the division on the Persons with Disabilities Bill, Senate Bills number 7 of 2023, the results are as follows. Nays 0, ayes 28, abstention 0. So the ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to give effect to Article 54 of the Constitution, to restructure the National Council for Persons with Disabilities and to provide for its functions and powers, to provide for the institutional framework for protecting, promoting, and monitoring the rights of persons with disabilities, to provide incentives and reliefs, and for connected purposes.
The division vote on the County Licensing Uniform Procedures Bills, Senate Bills number 9 of 2022. The results are as follows. Nays 0, ayes 28, abstention 0. So the ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to establish standard uniform procedures for licensing by county governments and for connected purposes.
Sergeant at Arms, you may withdraw the bar and open the doors. Next, order clerk.
Order number 13, Committee of the Whole, the Natural Resources Benefit Sharing Bill, Senate Bills number 6 of 2022. Order number 14, Committee of the Whole, the Cotton Industry Development Bill, Senate Bills number 5 of 2023. Order number 15, Committee of the Whole, the Employment Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 11 of 2022. Committee.
Honorable members, we are going straight to division. Please do not leave the chamber. Senator Chute, kindly don't leave the chamber. We are going straight to division. Yes, it's now, honorable members. Honorable Senator Okongo Morgan, Senior Counsel, Minority Leader, kindly let us go straight to division. Do not leave the chamber. Honorable members, we had canvassed the amendments to the bill, so we are going straight to the division, and that is why we are requesting that you don't leave the chamber. Order, honorable members. Let us have our seats. Senator Kajwang, Senator Olekina, let us have our seats. Senator Chute, let us settle down so that we go straight to divisions. Honorable members, we have got 3 divisions, and Senator Abbas, take your seat, please. Senator Wamatinga, kindly take your seat. Honorable members, the Natural Resources Benefit Sharing Bill, Senate Bill number 6 of 2022. Senator Wamatinga, let's have our seats, kindly. We will take 3 divisions, as I said. The first vote, I want to put the question on new clauses. That is, I put the question that new clauses 5A, 5B, 5C, 5D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, 14A, 14B, 14C, 20, 21, 22, and the new schedule to be now read a second time. Sergeant at Arms, please ring the quorum bell for 1 minute. Sergeant at Arms, the bell is not ringing. Kindly ring for 1 minute.
Senator Hilary Sigei, currently presiding over the business of the House under the Committee of the Whole, where the senators are considering clauses in the bills under this category, has urged the Sergeant at Arms to ring the quorum bell for at least 1 minute to give some room for senators to internalize the clauses that they will be voting on this afternoon. There are a number of clauses. Under the bills that are set to be considered this afternoon, and immediately after the senators have sort of understood what the amendments in various clauses seek to achieve, they'll proceed and vote on those particular clauses. The Equalization Fund Administration Bill, Senate Bills number 14 of the year 2023, as well as the Employment Amendment Bill, are some of the bills that are set for consideration by the Senate this afternoon.
R, 14A, 14B, C, 20, 21, 22, and the new schedule will be now read a second time. You have got 1 minute, honorable members, to vote. You may now proceed, starting now. Senator Murgor, you may approach the chair as one assisted voter. Senator Okech, approach the chair as well. Senator Mulgor. Senator Mulgor, approach the chair. These are the results of the first vote, that is on clauses 5A to R, 14A, 14B, 14C, 20, 21, 22, and the new schedule. Ayes 28, nays 0, abstention 0. The ayes have it. We go to the next question. That is we go to the next question, clauses with amendments. And I put the question that clauses 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, and clause 2 be amended as proposed. Honorable members, you may start voting right now. Senator Okech, approach there, sir. Vote. Honorable members, these are the results of vote on that division. Ayes 28, nays 0, abstentions 0. The ayes have it. We move on to the final voting that is on all clauses, and I put the question that clause 3 as amended, clause 4, clause 5, clause 6, clause 7, clause 8, clause 9, 10, 11, clause 12, clause 13, 14, 15, clause 16, clause 17, 18, clause 19, as amended, new clause 5A to 5R, clause 14A, 14B, C, clause 20, 21, 22, and the new schedule, clause 2, the title, and clause 1 be part of the bill. Honorable members, it's time to vote. You also may proceed to vote right away. Yeah, Senator Cherargei. Senator Fornandi, kindly approach the chair to manually vote. Senator Murgor as well, approach the Senator Wakoli as well, approach the dispatch. Honorable members, these are the results of the vote on that particular question. Ayes 27, nays 0, abstentions 0. The ayes have it. Honorable members, we are done with the committee on voting on the Natural Resource Benefit Sharing Bill, Senate Bills number 6 of 2022. And we now move to the next bill. That is the bill on cotton. Just a moment. This is a committee of the whole on the Cotton Industry Development Bill, Senate Bills number 5 of 2023 by Senator Beth Sionko. Similarly, in this one, honorable members, we have got 3 clauses to go to vote. And I will proceed to put the question on the first clause, that is on new clauses. I put the question that new clauses 23A, clause 29, and the new heading, clause 50, clause 51, clause 52, clause 53, clause 54, and clause 55 be now read a second time. Honorable members, you may proceed to vote. Senator Okech, Eddie Okech, approach the dispatch. Approach the dispatch to vote. We will facilitate you. Just sit. We will veil the paper. Honorable members, these are the results of the first division. Ayes 28, nays 0, abstentions 0. The ayes have it. we are proceeding to the second division, that is on clauses with amendments. And honorable members, I put the question that clauses 7, 11, 23, clause 24, clause 25, and clause 32 be amended as proposed. Honorable members, you proceed to vote right now. Senator Okech, I wanted to remind you to attempt to electronically vote this time around. Honorable members, these are the results of the third division. Ayes 28, nays 0, abstentions 0. The ayes have it. We proceed to the last division, that is on all clauses. And honorable members, I put the question that clause 3, clause 4, clause 5, clause 6, clause 7 as amended, clause 8, clause 9, clause 10, clause 11 as amended, clause 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17, clause 18, clause 19, 20, 21, 22, clause 23 as amended, clause 24 as amended, clause 25 as amended, clause 26, clause 27, clause 28, clause 29, 30, 31, clause 32 as amended, clause 33, clause 34, clause 35, clause 36, clause 37, clause 38, clause 39, clause 40, clause 41, clause 42, clause 43, clause 44, clause 45, clause 46, clause 47, clause 48, clause 23A, clause 49, and the new heading, new clause 50, new clause 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, clause 2 as amended, the title and clause 1 be part of the bill. Honorable members, proceed to also vote now. Honorable members, kindly vote. We're almost closing, and a number of us have not voted. If you have not, proceed to vote. All right, fine, that's okay. Honorable members, these are the results of the last division. Ayes 28, nays 0, abstentions 0. The ayes have it. Now, honorable members, we are moving to the final bill on division. This is the bill on the Employment Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 11 of 2022 by Senator Samson Cherargei. Honorable members, this particular bill has got no amendment, and I put the question that clauses 2, the title, and clause 1 be part of the bill. You may proceed to vote. Senator Murkor, approach the dispatch. Senator Olekina. Senator Sifuna. These are the results of the voting. Ayes 26, nays 2, abstentions 0. The ayes have it. Honorable members, we now go to reporting. We want to start with the mover for the bill on the natural resources benefit sharing bill, Senate Bills number 6 of 2022, the Honorable Senator Mungatana.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the Senate its consideration of the Natural Resources Benefit Sharing Bill, Senate Bills number 6 of 2022, and its approval thereof with amendments. I thank you.
Honorable members, I now put the question that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Natural Resources Benefit Sharing Bill, Senate Bills number 6 of 2022, and its approval thereof with amendments. As many as of the opinion say aye. As many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next, we move to the Cotton Industry Development Bill, Senate Bills number 5 of 2023. The Honorable Senator Wambua.
Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the Senate its consideration of the Cotton Industry Development Bill, Senate Bills number 5 of 2023, and its approval thereof with amendments.
Honorable members, I now put the question that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Cotton Industry Development Bill, Senate Bills number 5 of 2023, and its approval thereof with amendments. As many as of that opinion say aye. As many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. And lastly, honorable members, we move to the third, that's Employment Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 11 of 2022. I call upon the mover, Senator Cherargei.
Mr. Chair, Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the Senate its consideration of the Employment Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 11 of 2022, and its approval therefore without amendments.
Honorable members, I now put the question that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Employment Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 11 of 2022, and its approval thereof without amendments. As many as of that opinion say aye. As many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Sergeant at Arms, you may now open the door and draw the bar. Honorable members, let's resume our seats. Honorable members, as we report on this one, we have got only one last third reading that we are going to vote on. Kindly do not leave the chamber.
Chairperson, proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I now beg to report that the Committee of the Whole has considered Natural Resources Benefit Sharing Bill, Senate Bills number 6 of 2022, and its approval thereof with amendments.
I call upon the mover. Senator Mungatana.
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the report, with the committee on the said report. And I will be seconded by the Honorable Senator Esther Ekenyuri.
I second.
I propose the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I put the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. As many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Mover, Senator Mungatana.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Natural Resources Benefit Sharing Bill, Senate Bills number 6 of 2022, be now read a third time. I call upon Honorable Senator Esther Ekenyuri to second.
I second.
I propose the question that the Natural Resources Benefit Sharing Bill, Senate Bills number 6 of 2022, be now read a third time. I put the question that Natural Resources Benefit Sharing Bill, Senate Bills number 6 of 2022, be now read a third time. Division. We will go to division later. I will ask the chairperson to report on the cotton industry bill.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole has considered the Cotton Industry Development Bill, Senate Bills number 5 of 2023, and its approval thereof with amendments.
Mover to reply.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee on the said report. That's Senator Sifuna to second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I second.
I propose the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I put the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. As many as of that opinion say aye. As many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Cotton Industry Development Bill, Senate Bills number 5 of 2023, be now read at that time, and I ask Senator Sifuna to second.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I second.
I propose the question that the Cotton Industry Development Bill, Senate Bills number 5 of 2023, be now read a third time. I put the question that the Cotton Industry Development Bill, Senate Bills number 5 of 2023, be now read a third time. division at the end. I call the chair to report on employment.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole has considered the Employment Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 11 of 2022, and its approval thereof without amendments.
Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee of the said report. And I request Senator Sifuna to second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I second.
I put the question that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. As many as of that opinion say aye. As many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Employment Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 11 of 2022 be now read at that time. And I request Senator Wambua to second.
Speaker, I second.
I propose the question that the Employment Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 11 of 2022, now be read a third time. I put the question that the Employment Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 11 of 2022, be now read a third time. Division at the end. Division bell to be rang for 5 minutes, please. Ring the bell for another 5 minutes, please. Stop the bell. Honorable Senators, I put the question that the Natural Resources Benefit Sharing Bill, Senate Bills number 6 of 2022, be now read a third time. Sergeant at Arms, close the doors and draw the bars. Honorable Senators, you can start voting. Honorable Senators, the results are as follows. The ayes 24, nays 0, abstention 0. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to establish a system of benefit sharing in natural resource exploitation between resource exploiters, the national government, county governments, and local authorities, and for connected purposes.
Honorable Senators, I ask that you log out, and I direct the Sergeant-at-Arms to pull out all cards remaining in the delegates' units. Senator Sigay. Senator Sigay. Honorable Senators, I put the question that the Cotton Industry Development Bill, Senate Bills number 5 of 2023, be now read a third time. Senators, you can start voting. Honourable Senators, the results are as follows. Ayes 24, nays 0, abstentions 0. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to provide for the production, processing, marketing, and the distribution of cotton in Kenya and its products. Establish the Cotton Industry Development Board, provide a framework for cotton farming, ensure value addition to cotton and its related products, and for connected purposes.
Honourable Senators, I put the question that the Employment Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 11 of 2022, be now read a third time. You can, oh, not yet. You can start voting, Senators. Honourable Senators, the results are as follows. Ayes 24, nays 0, abstentions 0. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Employment Act to provide for the right to disconnect, the right of employees to have their personal time and privacy respected, and for connected purposes.
Sergeant at Arms, open the doors and draw the bars. Honourable Senators, we're going back to order number 8.
Order number 8, motion, extension of mandate of the ad hoc committee to investigate the proliferation of religious organizations and the circumstances leading to the deaths of more than 95 people in Shakahola, Kilifi County.
Chairperson ad hoc committee, move the motion, please.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the extension of the mandate of the ad hoc committee to investigate the proliferation of religious organizations and the circumstances leading to the deaths of more than 95 people in Shakahola, Kilifi County as follows. That aware that at the sitting of the Senate held on Thursday, 27th April 2023, the Senate by resolution established an ad hoc committee to investigate the proliferation of religious organizations and the circumstances leading to the deaths of more than 95 people in Shakahola, Kilifi County. Appreciating that the mandate of the Select Committee lapsed on Wednesday, 26th July 2023, acknowledging that the committee had undertaken a tremendous amount of work in the execution of its mandate, noting that the events of the Shakahola in the country continues to evolve with the discovery of more bodies in the Shakahola mass graves, and that the committee is yet to visit the new grave sites. Now, therefore, the Senate resolves to renew the mandate of the ad hoc committee by a further period not exceeding 30 days of this resolution, and to table its final report in the Senate on or before the 5th September 2023. Mr. Speaker, this is basically a procedural motion, and it is not my intention to take a long time on it, except to ask the House to support the extension of time. And Mr. Speaker, the motion is moved in the amended way as provided for in Standing Order number 64. Mr. Speaker, the thrust of this motion is to ask for extension of time. Mr. Speaker, the committee has been working day and night. We have visited the area that is involved. We have met a lot of stakeholders, Mr. Speaker. But the 90 days that we thought were going to be sufficient to enable us to table the report and complete our work is not enough. The reason being that a lot more information still is out there, and many more stakeholders have come up indicating through committee, through the Senate office, saying that they want to appear and say their bit. Mr. Speaker, some of those potential witnesses at the Senate committee were people who escaped from the Shakahola forest, and they have been unwell because they have to go through some psychological treatment. And Mr. Speaker, some of them are better now and are able to communicate. Mr. Speaker, a lot of the political class have not been able to come before us, and they have expressed interest as big stakeholders in that area to ask that they be heard. Mr. Speaker, we've given time to the professionals, we've given time to human rights organizations, we've given time to a lot of government offices. We have even given time to the ad hoc committee set up by the Kilifi County Assembly. But some of the political stakeholders who believe they have information have not been able to come before us. And one or two other stakeholders who would want to give more information to this committee, Mr. Speaker, have requested specifically to come and give the information. Mr. Speaker, also further, there is need for report writing, which, Mr. Speaker, we intend to finish within this short time period that we have sought extension. Mr. Speaker, I have consulted widely. I've consulted with very many of our colleagues and even the chair of the liaison committee have consulted with the speaker and all other stakeholders, and we are in agreement that there is need for us to do a proper report, and a proper report, we cannot finish it within the time limitation that was given to us. Mr. Speaker, we are therefore requesting that the House supports this motion so that we can give the House a report that will be worthy the title of a Senate report. So, Mr. Speaker, with those few remarks, I request, I move the motion, and I request the Honorable Senator Cheptumo to second this motion. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Speaker, I rise to second this motion. Mr. Speaker, the chairman explained to the House and justified, Mr. Speaker, why we are seeking this extension. Mr. Speaker, I am a member of this committee its intention, Mr. Speaker, was to help the country in coming up with
given a different kind of place in the society by just saying that. So we have some people who are hiding in religion, who are hiding in churches, but what they are trying to do is to enrich themselves, or of course hide their criminal activities in church. So without subjecting the church into a lot of regulations or into a lot of scrutiny, it is important, Mr. Speaker, that this committee comes up with proper guidelines that are supposed to be followed when anybody is starting a church, because we want to find out who is starting such a church. Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, 425 people is not a small number, Mr. Speaker. I have seen political leaders holding vigil and lighting candles when people die during Mandamano. A few people, I'm not calling them a few because one person is big enough for the family, but a few people, and they will congregate, Mr. Speaker, to light candles in remembrance. The same people have not done this for the people of Shakahola, Mr. Speaker. 425 people. And they were in government when this was happening, under their watch. Mr. Speaker, and when the president tried to form a commission of inquiry in Shakahola, the same people who are lighting candles when they kill people during Mandamano, they go to court to stop the president from investigating this. And the question is, what are they hiding, Mr. Speaker? I urge this committee to look into this matter deeply, even if it's to recommend to have a commission of inquiry that will go now deeper beyond what this committee will do, Mr. Speaker. And as I say that, it is painful and it is hypocritical for somebody to assume or to pretend to care for Kenyans when 425 people are dead, and when they were in government, they didn't know about it. They should come in front of a commission. Even the head of state, the previous head of state, President Uhuru Kenyatta, should come in front of this commission, or of a commission of inquiry, or even this committee, because he was mandated to protect the citizens of this country, Mr. Speaker. So I urge this committee, we are giving you 30 days more. Please scrutinize everything, check on everything, invite everybody who was involved there, the security operators, even if in the previous government, so that they can shed light. You never know. Maybe they were working in cahoots with the so-called Mackenzie. I support, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. I call upon the mover to reply.
Mr. Speaker, I want to sincerely thank my colleagues. I start with the Honorable William Cheptumo, who seconded this motion, Mr. Speaker. I also want to thank Senator Cherargei, Senator Faki, Senator Thangwa. Mr. Speaker, they gave extremely valuable suggestions on how we should proceed, and I thank them because every one of them, Mr. Speaker, apart from the one who seconded, they also supported this motion. Mr. Speaker, there is good reason for us to have more time so that we can give the Senate quality work, Mr. Speaker. So with those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I beg to reply. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Senators, I determine that this matter does not affect counties. And I put the question, Honorable Senators, that aware that at the sitting of the Senate held on the Thursday, 27th April 2023, the Senate, by resolution, established an ad hoc committee to investigate the proliferation of religious organizations and the circumstances leading to the deaths of more than 95 people in Shakahola, Kilifi County. Appreciating that the mandate of the Select Committee lapsed on Wednesday, 26 July 2023, acknowledging that the committee has undertaken a tremendous amount of work in the execution of its mandate, noting that the events of the Shakahola in the country continues to evolve with the discovery of more bodies in the Shakahola mass graves, and that the committee is yet to visit the new grave sites. Now, therefore, the Senate resolves to renew the mandate of the ad hoc committee by a further period not exceeding 30 days of this resolution, and to table its final report in the Senate on or before 5th September 2023. Honorable Senators, as many as of the opinion say aye. Aye. As many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 9, motion, adoption of the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the county government's equitable share cash disbursement schedule for the financial year 2023-2024 and approval of the county government's cash disbursement equitable share schedule for the financial year 2023-2024.
Chairperson Finance.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the cash disbursement schedule for financial year 2023-24, laid on the table of the Senate on 27th July, that pursuant to Section 17(7) of the PFM Act, Standing Order 189.3, the Senate approves the county government's cash disbursement equitable share schedule for financial year 23-24. Mr. Speaker, the Constitution provides that revenue raised nationally should be shared equitably among all the 47 counties. This requirement is actualized through the enactment of Division Revenue Bill, pursuant to Article 218(1). Mr. Speaker, following the enactment of the Division of Revenue Bill, Parliament is required to process county allocation bill pursuant to 218(1)(b). This bill is meant to share the county government's equitable among all the 47 counties. Mr. Speaker, the sharing amongst counties is actually based on a criteria that is through different parameters. These parameters range from the health parameter, the index, the equitable share index, agricultural services, urban services, and other county services, population, the land, roads, and also the poverty index factor. Mr. Speaker, since CARA has been assented by the President, the National Treasury, pursuant to Section 17(6)(7) of the PFM, is required to prepare and submit to the Senate a draft county government's equitable share cash disbursement schedule. Mr. Speaker, Section 17 of PFM provides that the National Treasury shall, at the beginning of every month, and in any not later than 15th from the date of commencement of the month, disperse monies to the counties. This is on the basis of the cash disbursement schedule approved by the Senate. Mr. Speaker, the cash disbursement schedule provides a guide to the expected monthly disbursements for each and every county. This is from January to December. Each county is allocated the funds from what we passed, that is the 385 billion. And so there is allocation for each and every county, the 47 counties, and this is the schedule for each and every month, what the Treasury is supposed to disperse to the counties every month per county. These funds are normally transferred to the county CRF accounts. It facilitates also the predictable and timely transfers so that the counties can be able to have cash flows to be able to run their services that they are supposed to deliver to the citizens.
What is your point of order, Senator Hamida Kebwana?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to move the motion under the Standing Order 41 for lack of quorum, Mr. Speaker. If I may read, If at one time in the course of the proceedings of the Senate, a senator objects that there's no...
Senator, it's okay, you don't have to read it. Clerk, confirm if we have quorum. Can we ring the bell for 10 minutes? Senator Mutinda, you will have a balance of 58 minutes when we resume. Honorable Senators, there being no quorum and having rung the bell pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 41-2, the Senate stands adjourned until tomorrow, Wednesday, 2nd August 2023 at 9:30 a.m.